Good evening, I'm Dan Skahill. For the next 30 minutes, we'll take an in-depth look at the sport of motocross, stadium motocross. We'll be speaking with professional motocross racer Marty Smith from Team Honda, and we'll also take a look at some exciting footage of the only Superbowl of motocross from this past July at the LA Columsium. Matter of fact, it was the first chance I had to see a motocross race. Was 2 years ago. I got a chance to see this sport, and before we go any further, let's take a look and see what this motocross is all about.
This is the Los Angeles Coliseum, as you've known it since it was built back in 1932. Through that peristyle have passed some of contemporary sport's greatest heroes. But the Coliseum is undergoing a transformation to motorized athletics. Over 4,000 cubic yards of dirt has been molded into a 13-turn, three-quarter-of-a-mile course. That peristyle itself will become a launching pad off which the very greatest motocross riders in the world will fly to the floor of the arena. And here is the finished product, perhaps the most spectacular artificial course in this sport's 32-year history. At the start line for the first of 3 motos to decide the Superbowl of motocross, the publisher of Cycle World magazine, Joe Parkhurst.
This is the starting line of the first 250 International motocross at the Superbowl of motocross in 1975.
Motocross over here in America is going to be very competitive. There are a lot of very good young riders coming up like Marty Smith, Jimmy Ellis, Jimmy Pomeroy, Brad Leckie, and I really think the Americans are going to be the next world champions for sure.
The riders are lined up in front of a mechanical starting gate. This gate is tripped by the man at the right hand here with a lever.
There's a lot of good riders out there, the best in the world, and it's a tough race. If I get a good start, I might do all right, but I just don't want to get hurt. I'm just going to take it easy.
The best one out of here is the guy who gets the best roll shots. They're getting ready. They're all watching this man's hand, who is right here on my right. It's going to go, and they're off. The first 250 motocross is underway.
24 riders off to a beautiful start, Dave Despain.
Down into the first turn goes Marty. Oh, Smith has crashed. A vicious end-over-end crash for the leader, Marty Smith, who just a moment ago, Ken, said he was going to take it easy.
Hate to see if he'd really turned it on out there. He's up and seems okay. Appropriating first place and nearly down is Rex Staten.
Staten from Fontana, California, went all the way down to one knee. 50,000 people go crazy as Rocket Rex moves out into the lead. Second is the charging Czechoslovakian Zdeněk Velký. Third, the 4-time world champ, Roger de Coster of Belgium.
Meanwhile, Joe Parkhurst is standing by on the floor of the Coliseum with Marty Smith.
Marty, can you tell me what happened?
Well, I forgot about the change of first turn location. And some bats right there. Couldn't stop.
You gonna be all right for the next moto?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll take a look at some more footage of the only Superbowl of motocross and talk with professional rider Marty Smith right after this. Motorcycling is very popular with over 10 million individuals in this country. Oh, there's probably 30,000 or 30 million interested people in the sport of motorcycling. Bankers, lawyers, students, everybody is involved in motocross or motorcycling. So much, in fact, it's quite possibly more popular than golf. The largest aspect of motorcycling is motocross. Motocross has grown to a household word since its U.S. introduction in 1969. There are probably already 8,000 events in the U.S. each year. This explosion is fueled by sales of motorcycles to riders 6 to 60 years of age, motocross replica bicycles, high school motocross teams, and even the comic strip Peanuts and a TV show. Motocross racing spawned more than 40 years ago in Europe. It's a kidney-jarring, bone-rattling blend of man, machine, and terrain, the rougher the better. Riders race specially constructed, high-powered, lightweight motorcycles costing up to $30,000 to finish first on a 1-mile dirt-marked course, usually somewhat kidney-shaped. They blast from a mechanical starting gate to negotiate narrow corners, roller coaster hills, savage ruts, blinding mud pits. They go around and around for 30 minutes non-stop, and then they go out and do it twice more, just to compete one event. The overall highest finisher is the winner, and he also has the pains and bruises to prove it. Motocross is second only to soccer in its physical demands. Football trails in at 8th. In pro football, a top football player might go 14 minutes a game. In the same period, a motocross racer endures 1.5 hours on his mechanized bucking Bronco and up to 90 miles an hour. Motocross is truly the sport of its times. Such popularity, it may even overtake rock concerts. Behind all of this is the Super Bowl of Motocross, a phenomenal race where aggressive promoter Mike Goodwin moved a thrilling sport into the comfortable spectator availability of the LA Columsium. In 1972, the sport has skyrocketed since. The Super Bowl of Motocross is the largest, most prestigious, talented race that takes place in the United States. The race is on a demanding $100,000 artificial course built annually on the floor of the Los Angeles Coliseum, or the Anaheim Stadium, where the next major event is taking place. Athletes comparable to Stewart, Newcomb, and other such riders compete in a quest to capture the champagne glory and gold of the spectators. Motocross often outdraws the Dodger games. Now let's return and take a look at some of our footage here. The only Super Bowl of Motocross. With me now is